Welcome to Sports Bitches. My name is Rachel Bonetta, joined by two of my best buds, Sarah Tiana, Megan Gailey. Week one is in the books, and oh, wow. I feel like this is the best week one that we have had in years. Can I even say that? I feel like week two has a lot to live up to.
It's the best one I've had in 12 years. I'll say that.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Did you guys just beat your curse? You ended the curse.
We ended the curse. Now I'm going to the week 2 game.
And then who do you guys play next week?
We play the Broncos, your favorite team.
Oh, well, the Broncos look like trash, so. But,
I know.
Listen, week 1 is a really difficult week to assess things by because, you could see it with a lot of the teams. We had a lot of teams that were winning and then ended up losing. And a lot of that comes down, in my opinion, to conditioning. Like most guys are just like not fully conditioned and game ready because they haven't played four quarters.
That summer 15
of a game.
Still.
Yeah. So, you saw a lot of teams come out of the gate. The first half they're struggling. The second half they're way better. And, sometimes that's all it takes. Some teams it takes a week or two. But I think right out of the gate, Eagles Cowboys was a banger.
I know. Even them getting
even started.
I know. But even them getting that weather delay, I was like, oh, they're getting like a second halftime. I bet they're annoyed that the game is going to go so long and the fans are going to be so drunk. But like they are getting a second rest. They probably needed that.
Did you see Travion Diggs go into the crowd to get food?
Looking for a sandwich?
That would have been me.
Did he have a little hot dog?
They were bringing a sandwich cart in. I'm like, ooh.
Incredible.
Yes, right out of the gate, Jalen Carter. Oh, my gosh.
Hold on. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Because it is so impossible to break down week 1 in its entirety. We did this last year. We're going to do it again. We're breaking down all of the games-ish in a little something we like to call the good, the bad, the ugly, and new this year, surprising. The surprising, if we have time, because we have a lot to get to.
We'll be surprised if we have time.
We're going to start with the good. And I think we can put the Sunday Night Football game on the very, very tippity top of that list. I wouldn't be surprised if in 6 months from now, when we are crowning, the best game of the regular season, don't count. I don't know if it's in 6 months.
Just wanted to, I think it is. I think you were correct.
Okay, then I'm a genius. In 6 months from now, we are going to look back and say that was the best game of the season. And we got it week 1. Gorgeous.
Yeah. We did. We got it week 1. I mean, I think it's right up there with the Rams-Chiefs game, from 5 or 6 years ago. It was 54-48 or whatever.
Yes, a Thursday night football game. Yes.
Scoring,
Oh, I remember that.
A Zoom room. It was all over the place. There was so much good football being played. Neither one of their defenses could stop anybody. The Ravens defense was stopping the Bills the whole first half. The second half, the Bills defense was stopping the Ravens. And then you finally get a Derrick Henry turnover, which you never get. Which really, changed everything in the game. You can't put it all on his shoulders.
No.
But, Tyler Loop missing an extra point and Derrick Henry fumbling. You're like, all right, well, this is the break. This is, sometimes you just need a little crack in the door to bust through it. And that's what the Bills did.
I saw a video of a guy crying in the stands who had just put, how the probability of games like that at the very end is they're going to win 99.9% of the time. He had put $200,000 on the Ravens.
What? Well, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, of course he is. And he was crying his eyes out. My life is over.
So he was at the game. He was in the stands.
He was in the stands.
Is he a Ravens fan?
He was wearing a Ravens jersey.
$200,000.
$200,000. And he was just covering his head oh my God, what have I done?
So
Your life should be over if that's the way
Josh
you're
Allen's
gambling.
going to haunt that man's dreams for the rest of his life.
That man needs to get bonked in the head by the Bills fan who bonked DeAndre Hopkins in the head. They should just have a bonked head off. I am going through a really difficult situation where I am now having to watch these night games on Eastern time. And it is hell. I have a toddler and a newborn baby. I went to sleep at the start of the third quarter because I was like, this puppy's done. I wake up to breastfeed, and my Buffalo family, all hell has broken loose, and they're sending us asking CJ to make angels in the outfield memes, and then I go to sleep during the Monday night halftime, and I'm like, the thing is, I can't stay up this late. And I just, West Coast, best coast. That is the supreme watching time frame.
Yes, 1,000%.
No ifs,
I feel so
ands, or buts.
bad. Yeah, I feel so bad that you're having to experience this. Like, this is
1 p.m.? 1 p.m. is too late. That, like,
to start. Oh yeah, it's crazy because there's something so cozy, and I'm so sorry if you guys are listening to this and we're trashing your coast and your time zone. There's something so cozy. Our routine is we wake up on Sunday mornings. Zach has already ordered me a bagel and an iced coffee,
Bagel?
and
bagel.
How do you guys? A bagel.
Bagel.
Bagel. Okay. Agree to
Bagel.
disagree. Anyways, it's so cozy, and I couldn't imagine how you all are living your lives.
Stinks.
Yeah.
They know.
No.
They know.
There was nothing better than waking up in bed and like watching football before I had a child. Now I'm up at 6 a.m. So
Right. So I'm like,
matter.
give me a London game every week.
Yeah. Thank you.
Send Jackson
already
to London permanently for the moms.
I'm already
For the
awake.
mom.
I think also, well, we were talking about Bills Raven, but did you guys see the Bills fan at the bar that left in like the third quarter, and he's like walking out and he's like, this thing's over. Derrick Henry owns us, congrats. Like, Bills suck. Bills are trash, right? And then like people are quote tweeting like, go back to the bar. Go back to the bar. Turn around.
I do have to say, in everyone's defense, and probably more in the Ravens' defense, this is week one. There is so much that's going to unfold. So while I do think this was like an excellent game that I missed half of, the stakes actually couldn't be lower because there's
Yes and no. Yes
Yes.
and no.
I know.
But-
I will push back.
I will push
and
back.
say this is gonna give the Bills some oomph going forward. Like, you're
But
riding
also-
a high.
Yeah,
That kicker?
I mean, I think this is that's so Ravens,
Yes.
like
it's a pattern.
this has happened 20 something times with the Ravens where they are up by a substantial amount and then they end up losing at the end. Even and this was a good team, so this was a hard fight, so they were mentally prepared, but home field advantage is quite the advantage in the playoffs. So all of these games matter, especially.
But I
amongst
agree with
these
you,
two.
Meg. Every other game is just like, okay, well, everyone's going to have their like overreactions of week one. It's
Which,
always exciting
if we didn't,
to see.
we wouldn't be recording. Like that's what we're here for. I had a point, and now it's gone.
I'm so sorry.
But
Can I also
this is my
mention-
point.
Go
I'm so
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
Last year, Bills lose in the regular season to the Ravens, beat them in the playoffs. So if you're going by that logic, this could actually be some good retribution for the Ravens to come back in the playoffs and try and beat the Bills.
A little chip
on their
on the
turf.
shoulder is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. the chip
Yeah,
is
I
heavy.
think it's gonna be really interesting. There's another team that's in the good that I didn't put in there, but I really want to put Chargers in the good because I think the way that they played on Friday night. I mean, Herbert
Was Madison
and
Beer
Madison
in the crowd?
I don't think so, but I mean, he looks different. Like that team looks different, and that there's everybody better watch out. And now the Chiefs don't have Xavier, where they do not have Rashee Rice. Like, that's tough.
Should the Chargers just move to Brazil? Because it's like And
Yeah.
I love my favorite thing about these international games is they cut to the stands and you'll see somebody in like a crisp Bears jersey and the Bears are nowhere in sight. Like,
No.
and I get it. Like if there was cricket playing in LA, I'd be like, I gotta borrow a cricket shirt. Like, I don't know that I have like a cricket
She shows up in
team.
full Colts gear.
Yes. So like they cut to the stands and it's like a hodgepodge, a grab bag of NFL jerseys, and the Chargers are like, fine, that'll do.
Do you think also that like they had a little bulletin board material with the Chiefs, with it being their home game, but the Chiefs' name being in the end zone? I think that kind of gives you a little extra edge of anger.
Perhaps. But another game that we really want to talk about, Sarah, you're taking this next one because I didn't see this, but it feels very fitting that this happened at this game.
Yeah, so a green dildo was thrown on the field at the Bengals-Browns game.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. Don't know if Deshaun Watson had anything to do with it. Doubt it. But, you know, it feels like the women are fighting back. I don't know if a woman threw it, but I'm glad it's happening at
Marketing
men's
idea.
games.
Marketing idea. I know that we've been talking about merch. I know that we have been sort of, tossing around some ideas. Let's do the dildo thing. Let's be the ones that throw the dildos. Okay.
How about a sports bitches strap on that says on the shaft, "Be my bitch"?
Okay.
Yes.
I will let you sell that on your storefront.
It's just kids. It's Megan holding her sweet, precious baby. And then the next post
Now
is
available on
strap on.
Etsy.
Oh, my gosh. That game, though, I will say the Browns, their defense looks good. Defense
always
looks
does.
really good. So that is definitely something to be excited about if you're a Browns fan. And their running game also looks good. They always have a great running game.
Yeah.
So, they have it again this year. So
I feel like
exciting.
the AFC North, those games are always. It's like when you're playing like an in division rival like that, like Bengals and Browns, like they always sort of circle that game on the calendar, no matter how bad the Browns have been previously. So I'm curious to see how the Browns look next week and the week after. Skip Bayless came out and said that if Shedeur Sanders started, that they would have won. Do you guys agree with that?
Cracks knuckles.
Okay.
No, of course not. Hot take.
He's
I
old.
don't think any rookie quarterback should ever start in their first year. Period. The end. I don't ever like that. I think it's a huge disadvantage. It takes a very long time to get up to the speed of the game. I mean, even JJ McCarthy on Monday Night Football, like the first half awful, second half got a lot better.
Yeah.
But again, he's been there for a year. You know what I mean? So I just don't think that Shedeur is equipped. And definitely, I think he will eventually start playing at some point this year, but he is the third string quarterback.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel is the second string. So, Skip Bayless is just saying that because he wants clicks.
Yeah, I want him to start just because I'm curious.
Yeah,
of course.
I am a Shedeur fan. I'm a Shedeur apologist. And Joe Flacco threw 2 interceptions that were basically dropped balls. So it's like if you put Shedeur in and it's the same set of receivers, it's going to be the same set of results. It's not a quarterback issue based on what we saw in that game. That was a receiver issue. And I don't think Shedeur is solving that.
Yeah. Unless he's just handing the ball off to the running back, he doesn't need to be in there. And or he could be a decoy, you know what I mean? He could be like a running game decoy, the way that they used Fields every once in a while in Chicago or Pittsburgh.
I kind of imagine him in his first game that he's starting. He shows up, he makes a really big scene. He has his friend is holding the scythe again, and similar. And I'm not saying I want this to happen, but similar. Do you guys remember when Aaron Rodgers first came out of his Jets game, came out of the tunnel with like a huge American flag, and then got injured on the first snap? I could see something like that happening.
That's exactly I mean, people are gonna go after him, but they don't even have to.
Meg, what was this end zone piece that you put in here? Because I saw the dance and I still don't know what it was.
Don't even know what you would call it. Maybe like the beetle on his back. I'm not sure if it has a name. I've heard people calling it the baby, because it's Cam Bynum, brand new acquisition for the Colts, who was notorious for amazing celebrations with the Vikings. Now, the thing is, he's a defensive player. Celebrations are usually an offensive player's game because they're the ones who score. But Cam Bynum, he's got to get an interception, a strip fumble, a sack. Like, he's got to really have an outstanding play. And so I love that this is like where he sets the bar. He's like, I only get to celebrate if I have like a game-changing play, and he does against the Dolphins. Immediately goes down into the end zone, does this iconic dance, and now there's a TikTok circulating where he's been practicing this dance since 2015. So he's got like a Rolodex. He's got a Rolodex of dances. He is a Filipino icon. I cannot believe we have a Filipino dancing hunk, new father, amazing defensive player on the Colts. It's like, maybe I'm not a bad person. Maybe I'm being rewarded finally.
Yes, I think Cam Bynum has completely changed that locker room, because I mean, I met him on Good Morning Football one morning, and I was like, "Oh my God, your energy is so awesome." Like it's just like he just exuberates like good energy, and for him to be in that locker room that feels a little defeated, and now our owner has passed away. No matter what their feelings are about the owner, we're going through some sort of huge quarterback controversy. No one expects us to be good. Everyone thinks we're tanking for Arch Manning. You know what I mean? And then you have this guy who comes in, who's all vibes. And I think he's making those guys have fun and like enjoy themselves. And it's showing on the field. Like, the Colts looked so good. I mean, granted, they were playing against the Dolphins, who looked the worst, like the worst. But then you're like, are the Dolphins this bad, or are the Colts this good?
Real
and
good.
So I think that, we all will find that out in week 2. But no matter what, Daniel Jones, who is a running threat, but he's also a great passing threat. And when you have both of those coming at you, and Michael Pittman is doing good, your new tight end is like crushing it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that are coming together for the Colts right now. And if I was a Colts fan, I would be stoked.
So would I. I think it's really positive. By the way, I feel like we should call this like the reverse worm, because he's like doing it on his back. He's going the other way. It originated in a 2011 Indian Tamil language action comedy film called Osti.
Okay.
Let me just say this right now. Bollywood movies.
Yeah, Bollywood.
You guys ever? Have you guys ever
cool.
experienced?
Very cool.
Oh my.
Very cool. I got some texts on Sunday, obviously. And I would say where I'm at is sort of incredulous, because it is just one game. It did break the curse. All of the legends were in the building to see Jim Irsay's name added to the Colts Ring of Honor. I don't know that any team across any sport has ever loved their owner more than these guys love Jim Irsay. I explained to a dear friend of the show, Bennett Weber, a Jacksonville Jaguars fan who's equally shocked with his teams, when I am now a woman who has been cheated on 5 times by husbands I didn't even want to marry. Okay? So I'm like that girl in a movie that a guy is like handsome. He's got a good job. He's showing up. He's bringing a baseball glove for my son. And I've got the walls up. Okay? It's like, you're going to have to do a lot more than show up for 1 week and play nice with my kids for me to fall head over heels in love with you. So I go, okay, good first date. I need to see more. And that's me protecting. That's me protecting myself.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
Is Daniel Jones going to be a good stepdaddy? We don't know.
I think so.
I think so.
He looks shocked a lot, which is step 1 of parenthood.
Okay, Steelers versus Jets. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the good category as well, because, and I know, Meg, you're not going to like this at all, but I think the Steelers are exciting because Aaron Rodgers does look decent. He does look decent. And I think that if Aaron Rodgers is good, that is a very fun storyline for this entire season that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
again,
and that was a fun game.
It was fun. I think it goes back to Sarah's point about the Dolphins. They played the Jets. So it's like, are the Jets a worthy opponent? TBD. He did look good, 4 touchdowns. That is impressive. That is way better than I thought he was going to be or anyone else. Now, the thing is, he can't just like leave it at that and be graceful in defeat. He then has to go into the post game and Aaron Rodgers it up and be like, it was nice to stick it to every single person in the Jets organization. It's like, even the ball boy, like, what did the Jets do to you? They literally brought in the entire coaching staff you wanted, every single receiver you asked for, paid you, helped you through your injuries,
Fired the head coach,
started you again when you were dog poopy. So it was
waited for months while you were in a darkness retreat to get an answer as to whether or not you would be the quarterback.
We're okay with you just going to Egypt to figure out if pyramids were real.
So I'm not even saying the Jets are a great organization. They're notoriously not. But I don't think they did Aaron Rodgers dirty from what I can see on the outside looking in.
He just cannot help himself. I did think that it was really sweet. He seems to still be really tight with all of the players because they're like, when they were in warm-ups, he was like hugging everybody and everyone was coming up to him and like looked genuinely excited to see him from the players' standpoint. But do we think his wife was in the crowd secretly?
Yeah, I think she's like one of those like car wash people that like blows in the wind. I think he's married to one of those.
Was there anyone that like wasn't wearing shoes at the stadium? Because I'd be like, that's her.
Yeah, there she is. I hate that Aaron Rodgers is always like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, here we are just with the vibes, and like, I'm not going to like give energy to all of these like hot button questions, but the Jets coaching staff is trash and they did me dirty. And then he like goes on and answers it anyway. And it's like, wait, what? It's like when people go, I'm not the kind of person. And then you go, as soon as you say I'm not the kind of person who, I know you are exactly that kind of person.
Yes.
Like, nobody who's not that kind of person has to say it first.
I wouldn't usually say that.
Drama. I hate drama. And then they're the most dramatic fucking person
always.
you've ever met in your life.
They say the meanest thing ever.
I will say that the Jets, that Justin Fields, like he scored 30 points in fantasy.
Yeah.
Like he definitely looked a lot better. And this could have just been like two teams, who are just trying to prove to each other that they are good. Obviously Justin Fields had the same exact reasons for wanting to beat Pittsburgh that Aaron Rodgers had to beat the Jets. So I think it's interesting. I still don't know who either one of them are. I don't 100% trust either of them, but I thought it was a really good game.
Fun.
I will just say, I don't know what made me think of this, but I will just say we are all in a guillotine league, which is like if your team scores the lowest points, you get kicked out.
You get
and these
guillotined.
girls are like, Rachel, you're in the not safe zone. Oh, you're gonna get cut week 1.
Beating all of us.
Boom.
She's beating all of us.
Okay, let's move on.
I know
to...
when you finally took people out of your lineup that weren't starting for the first 5 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you, Chris, for reminding me to change my lineup. Let's move on to the bad, and I want to start with the Giants and Russell Wilson. Wilson, okay, so I've got some stats here that I thought were very interesting. Wilson was pressured on 16 of his 45 dropbacks. Okay, that's only 36%. And handled that pressure quite poorly. He was 2 of 12 for 26 yards and was sacked twice whenever he was pressured. Daboll, my BFF, the love of my life, has come out and said that he will be starting the second game, but cannot speak to beyond that. And it might be Jackson Dart going in week 3. So I feel bad for him. I do feel bad.
Why
for him.
is
it was
Jackson Dart or Daboll?
No, Russell Wilson.
Oh,
he has chosen this path. I just Googled it. He has made $300 million from his NFL career. He has lots of endorsements. His wife is rich and famous. They have children. why is he still playing? He does not have it anymore. And he doesn't even seem like an ego guy. He almost seems like a delusional guy. Like, it's like, this cannot be fun. It doesn't seem like he's well loved when he goes places. I really don't understand what he's still doing on the field in the nicest way possible.
Of course. I think he needs to retire, and I think that he needs to become a pastor, because that seems like what he really wants to do in life. And I think that he needs to be a pastor at like a mega church, ones where they bring out full bands and fireworks. And I think that he could be the quarterback for God. I think he could be God's little quarterback.
I thought that that's what Derek Carr should do too. And then I saw him break down film after the YouTube game on Friday, and I was like, I want you on every channel doing this. And then he did a Gruden impression, and it was better than mine. And like, I was like, this guy's good.
And no one's better than yours.
Yeah, no. Frank Caliendo does a pretty good one. But did you see the fight between Malik Neighbors and Dayball?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And then Malik had to sit down for like
physical
a couple plays.
No, just mouthing off at each other.
Mouthing off at each other, but that was because Dayball like went to high five him, and then Malik like pretended to just like fix his pants to avoid the high five with the camera right next to them. And then Dayball like comes up and says something to him, and then like a few plays later they continue to have the conversation down the sideline.
Okay, so trouble in the locker room. Locker room.
Yeah, I mean that usually
sign.
happens with receivers when they're not getting the ball, because the ball dies in the air 5 yards in front of them. So, that's to be expected. Again, I understand why they're not starting Jackson Dart, because he is a rookie, and like that, it's just like, it's really hard. Listen, I know Jaden Daniels like came out last year and like was this incredible, and like CJ Stroud, like it can happen and it can be very good, but then you know.
The name Jackson Dart reminds me of like one of the characters on Cars. Like he would be like a convertible that would pull up like, oh no, that's Jackson Dart.
And it's interesting because the spelling is Jackson.
Yes. Yeah. Which is actually incorrect. Let's not
haven't seen that before. No, the Giants are a mess, and I think they're one of those. Yes, we are correct about week one being like, okay, like we sort of have to like wait and see. I think there's a few teams where we don't need to wait and see. And I would say the Giants and the Dolphins, it's like, nope, you're bad. You're bad, and we know you're going to be bad, and good luck to your fan bases.
And that's that. And that's that.
Case closed.
What did we think about the Bears? Because we also have them on the bad list, blowing a big game.
I think coming out of the gate, the Bears did look good. You know what I mean? Caleb Williams is slinging it downfield, and then all of a sudden they just start falling apart. And I don't know Minnesota's defense is very good, and they were very good last year. So it's like, obviously they had Cam Bynum last year. So like, I feel like I still have to kind of wait and see. I think Caleb Williams did look better than he did last year. Obviously, Adunze, I don't want DJ Moore to be hurt. There was like a really rough play towards the end of that game. But it just seems like, you got Ben Johnson in there. You're like, all right, this should be interesting. And then they had, 17 points against them unanswered. So you're like, well, okay, are we very focused on the offense and we didn't do anything to help to make sure that the defense was preventing this? Like, what's going on? So seems like a little trouble.
I'm so curious about the Vikings moving forward, because like you said, JJ was not good in the first half and then sort of like surged back in the second half. I'm really excited to see like what this team actually is, what their identity is once they like sort of settle in.
Yeah. I think that he's going to be good. He ran one in, he was passing it, like he has to get up to the speed of the game. The speed of the game is the hardest thing to learn. So, that just takes a second. Obviously, it takes a second.
The Bears getting booed at home in their own stadium week one.
I feel like that's a normal thing.
It is. But like, there was some stat that went up in the first half, because that's all I watched, that Caleb Williams made his first 10 passes. He was like 10 for 10, and that hadn't, it said, ever happened for the Bears.
Right.
So it's like, you guys, you gotta just, you have a brand new coach, a brand new system. Everyone has said that he is like a beautiful minding the offense. There's gonna be some growing pains. We witnessed that. You cannot get so big in your britches after one half. And the Vikings very well might be a good team. You're going to play them again. Obviously, it's demoralizing to blow a lead like that, but you got to kind of like go, okay, it's week one. I don't know. It's so early to be booing your team. Now, if I had been at the Colts game and they blew that lead, boo city. But
you would have found your way onto the field. You would have grabbed a microphone.
Well, stay tuned to next week, okay?
Right. She changes all of her Halloween decorations that say boo to like boo Colts.
Where are your tickets for next week, Meg?
They are in the 100s.
Okay.
And they were free because my dad told someone in the Colts organization that I am a Colts influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
My dad goes,
you've influenced us to care about the Colts.
He goes, I got us 4 tickets. They're really good. I go, what did you tell them? Because I knew, I was like, forward me the email. Oh, I need to see the email, and the email is class. The email's classic.
That's so funny.
Listed all my credits. All my credits.
Oh my God.
Just one more thing. One more thing I will say. 2 things I will say. One thing about Caleb Williams, there were 2 or 3 situations where he had a wide open receiver and he overthrew them. So that is the one thing that is a little concerning to me. But like, obviously it's week 1. Number 2, seeing Casey Irsay on the field running up and down, I think, and then like on the sidelines with her headphone, like listening to the game. I'm like, I love it. Mm-hmm. I love all of it. I'm in for it. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why some of this good vibes and good energy is coming to the Colts, because all of a sudden
women
have this
are in
like
charge.
Very cool, powerful woman in charge. And like God is like, let's make room.
Yeah, shout out to Caleb Williams. His nails were painted in honor of the suicide hotline. Yes. And so it, I know he gets a lot of crap, and especially gets a lot of crap about painting his nails. And it's
Who gives a shit?
He's a good guy. Mm-hmm. Let's start celebrating the good guys and maybe start being meaner to the bad guys.
Thank you.
Imagine
being secure in yourself is not unattractive.
Imagine being an old man being like, I don't want my quarterback painting his nails.
Great.
To play football, the gayest sport that exists.
The Bears? That's literally a name of gay men.
Let's move on to ugly, shall we? This one's packed because there was a lot of ugly. It was ugly to kick us off in the season.
Yes.
Before the game even started.
I think this ties directly into what we were just saying about Caleb Williams. Dak Prescott, not a bad guy. If Dak Prescott is on any other team besides the Cowboys, we're like, man of the year. But he's on the Cowboys, so we're like, let's make fun of him all the time. He's had a very difficult life. He seems like he is always giving back to the community. Such a cutie. And Eagles defensive lineman Jalen Carter, a Pro Bowler, literally hawks a loogie on him 13 seconds into the game or something insane. And it mirrored, there was also a college player who hawked a loogie on another guy. And
can we stop using the word loogie, please?
I'm so sorry. Hawked spat. He spat on him. I think spitting on someone is like probably the most disrespectful thing you can do. It is so nasty. Jalen Carter after the game was like, my bad, I shouldn't have done that.
But people looked and it looked like Dak had spat first or like spit out gum or something like that in his direction.
on the ground in his direction. And then for Dak was like, oh, no, it's just like, spitting on the ground. But like, you don't spit through your players onto the ground, first of all. If you're going to spit on the ground, you just like lift up your helmet and you go, you know what I mean? Like just straight down.
Sure.
So you guys think this is like the second guy always gets caught?
Of course. Yes. But also, Jalen Carter spit on Dak, not on the ground in front of him. I also listen, no excuse, but I also think you're playing in another country. You are getting yourself amped up. You're like, we're gonna kick these guys at. You know what I mean? Like, there's all this like angst. Like, you have to rev yourself up to play a game like this. And I think like emotions were just like hot. Like, especially when you're a lineman, you're coming out like,
they
have a rivalry.
I'm gonna get that quarterback. Like you're like, I'm gonna eat that quarterback, and then the quarterback spits at you, and then you're just like, you're already in that like anger zone because your job is to get the quarterback.
I love that you called Philadelphia another country, because it does feel like that. It does feel like you should have
Brazil.
No, they were in Philadelphia.
They were in Philly. The Brazil was the Chiefs-Chargers game.
They were in Philadelphia, girl.
I definitely thought that game was in Brazil the whole time.
I actually don't blame you because I thought the first game was. Yes, I agree with you, Sarah. I was of the same mind,
sense.
And then I saw that it was in Philly while I was watching it.
It didn't.
I definitely
thought it was sense that they were like Philly, then Brazil, then back to America.
Okay, Sarah has really come around on the Eagles. She thinks that Philadelphia needs to be its own country.
She's like, you get a passport to go to the Liberty Bell.
I wouldn't mind.
No, I know. Talk about Philly's Karen.
Yeah, I think I definitely thought that they were in Brazil the whole time.
Who do we think out of the three of us, if the three of us got into an altercation, who's more likely to spit at somebody? Because I have my answer. I think it might be Meg.
I would think Megan.
I'm definitely the clear choice after I sit here being like, you can't do that. Yeah, shoot. And then I would.
No, I don't know. You would just like eviscerate somebody with your words.
I'm all bark, no bite, which probably lands me in the spit zone. But it's like Jalen Carter. That's what's so interesting because there were like a lot of scuffles this week in football. It's like, you get to hit each other. It's not like basketball or baseball where then you're like, okay, you go over there and you go over there and you respect each other. It's like, Jalen Carter, why don't you just run over someone and drill Dak Prescott? Like, wouldn't that be more fun for you than spitting? But I get it's the male machismo that they got when they were in Brazil.
Megan's not really a spit. She's more of a swallower,
Hey, yo.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Never been accused of that. I'm more of like a gagger. I'm like, get it out of here.
Quick reminder that all of our families listen to this podcast.
Great. I should have made that about someone else.
Let's move on to the next one, which is the coach that is favored to be fired after week 1. Let's talk about the Dolphins. Bad.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. Tua looks really bad. Tyreek Hill is like upset on the sidelines, which takes a lot for him to be upset on a sideline and not just in his own home. So it's like, that to me, like McDaniels could definitely be the first coach fired during the season. I don't see it getting any better. It's not like they got a whole lot better in the off season. Now Jalen Waddle, I think, is injured. So like,
have they already quit on him? Because it seems like they don't like him, and that happens so fast. Like,
who? Jalen Waddle?
No, McDaniels.
Yeah.
And do you think it's because he wears the pants that babies wear? He wears babies' pants.
Yes. And I think that it's also the oversized aviators that don't fit his head.
Because I like him. Like, I think
No,
he's
of
like funny
course.
and smart. But I just don't, I don't know how you come out and play that way against a team that is also supposed to be awful and just like get your ass kicked that badly. Like, what are they saying in the locker room right now?
Yeah.
Like Mike
and
McDaniel, I feel like he's going to be like a really great personality on television one day, but he reminds me of like a boy. And I think that when you have this, like, you can be small in stature, but you have to gain the respect of the locker room. And I just don't feel like maybe he has that.
Yeah, and I think that there is a certain element. I mean, I know that we talked to we didn't really get to it, but Ryan Clark saying that Peter Schrager shouldn't have, an opinion because he didn't play, which is ridiculous. But I think when you are around, I think sometimes coaches that used to play kind of, like, or have like that kind of like ex-player bravado, or just like, I'm just as big as the other men in here. I don't know. I don't want to put it all on size because, or just like, because obviously brains helps a lot in this league. And there are lots of just like, obviously Mike McDaniels was like a ball boy and like kind of worked his way up through an organization and then like, figured out the game of football, and the mechanics of it, and has designed incredible offensive schemes most of his career. So, I don't really know what the holdup is, but I think that part of it has me like he's lost the respect of his players. And when they don't respect you, like, I don't know. But I don't know. This is us just like assuming a lot.
Yeah, of course. But he's
but I've
supposed to
heard
be
that
this like
echoed.
football genius.
Yeah. I've heard that
But-
echoed elsewhere. I think him or Dable might be the first to go.
So crazy.
and-
It's almost like there is a
Especially-
hangover after coaches win Coach of the Year. It's like
Yeah, a
sometimes
little
there's
bit.
like a little bit of a hangover.
But it will be like if Daniel Jones continues to be great, Dayball is for sure a goner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. Because he was putting all of that on like Daniel Jones, not just like not understanding what he was trying to do and messing up all of his offensive schemes. And so that time will tell.
You mentioned the Ryan Clark of it all. He is in our ugly list, and I know that we're coming to the end of our pod, but if you guys missed this, it was like the dumbest thing on television last week. Ryan Clark interrupted Peter Schrager, who I've worked with, who is the loveliest man in
Most
television.
lovely.
And he fucking knows so much. He's been able to
So
predict the
much.
Super Bowl winner like the last 7 years in a row.
Mhm.
You got to put respect on his name. Ryan Clark said, interrupted him like mid-conversation and said like, well, you're the only one that hasn't played football at this table, so I don't think you know what you're talking about. And to say something like that is like hilarious. The amount of times that I have worked with football players that have not even watched the game, that are just relying on the fact that, they know what it means to play in a game. They know what it feels like. They know. And I totally respect that adds so much value to a broadcast. But there's a lot of times where dorks like Schrager, and I think he'd be okay with me calling him that, are going to know so much more than the players because they study the film. They study everything. They get the inside scoop. They know the coaches. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, when you are somebody that studies for a living and you're around players that sometimes never studied, I think you are more prepared for an argument. That's my
Can I be the tiniest little devil's advocate?
Of course.
I can't even believe I'm going to do this because I'm not even necessarily pro Ryan Clark, and I agree with every single thing you're saying. It was interesting because I watched like that clip, and then it was reported or rumored, I'm guessing, that it sort of carried over, and there was like a bit of an argument after, which it's like,
yes,
get that footage. Ryan Clark was like, if you would have let me finish, I was gonna say it's not about, I'm not saying it's about you, I'm saying it's about me. And so it made me think of like, I guess, and this example might not be good, I think that we are all in relationships with like very empathetic, wonderful men who like believe women, side with women. But if CJ started to say something to me, it is a really good way to win an argument to be like, well, you're not a woman, you don't understand. Like, that is sort of like case closed. Yep, what's he going to say back to that? And
Sure.
I think that's a little bit what Ryan Clark was doing, was like, here is my trump card. And there is like there is a nugget of truth to it, but I think the way it was received by Schrager, which I totally understand, was that it was condescending and belittling and making it seem like he didn't understand something that he like does clearly understand. But there is something almost wrong with football players' brains that they're able to do this every week.
Yeah.
Week in, week out.
Push back against that further, because I think that, yes, maybe he was just playing a trump card, but us knowing that it carried off of the set inherently tells us that no, he was actually saying to Schrager, it wasn't just like a one-off trump card. It's like the fact that they continued to argue offset. I mean, we don't know what happened, but
this was
I still
ESPN.
think it was ridiculous. Yeah,
this was
I
ESPN.
think,
Correct.
I think, you wouldn't say that to Mina Kimes, so you can't just say that to Peter Schrager. You know what I mean? So
Mina Kimes, our Lord and Savior.
I think he was losing the argument and he didn't have another argument, so he threw that out there.
Yes.
And Schrags was more prepared for the argument, or like
What were they fighting
maybe he
about
was
again?
The Cowboys,
I don't
something
even
with the
know.
Cowboys.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Maybe
You're
Dak
right.
Prescott of it
It was-
all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I feel like
But
it was
Schrager's
Lamb.
got one of those, like, autistic football brains. Like, he knows all of these
he
different
remembers everybody.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got like an insane knowledge of the game, and he remembers everything. Like, you can tell him a movie from 25 years ago and he'll like spew off quotes from the entire thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro.
And then like
Touch
they're
grass.
doing this thing. I don't even think it's new this season, where it's like it'll be like 4th and 3, and it'll say like analytics says kick, and it's like there is part of me that's like, there are analytics people, and there are just like, I'm going with my big old hog, and that's like the Dan Campbell
I'm a hog
camp.
gal.
And
Yeah.
then the analytics people are like the Moneyball people, and it's like, okay, so I think Ryan Clark was trying to say, I'm in the hog camp and you're in the book camp, and
I understand that.
I don't
But
have a hog or a book.
I would also
Makes
just
good
like to make
television.
the argument that analytics really only super works when no one else is using analytics. Like when everyone is using analytics, like
Yeah.
it kind of waters it down. So then you have to you just have to change it up and do, go with your gut when no one else is going with their gut, So like this is why it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, you know what I think ESPN should do? I think they
Hire
should
us.
hire us. And we will have cute
Facts.
outfits. If you want people to fight over petty things, we can rise to that occasion, okay? Like,
I'll show boob. I'll show boob.
I will have a screaming match while I'm eating a free salami sandwich in the green room. Like, whatever you need, I'm there to do.
She'll
Megan won't
spit.
even swallow it.
Jesus Lord.
We went two opposite directions.
Yeah, I don't know why I meant actual salami. Like an Italian meat.
You're like,
You
don't
sick
get
pervs.
in the way of
Okay, just one quick surprising, because we did make it. We did get there. I will say the Raiders were surprising this week. Geno Smith sets franchise record debut in win over Patriots, and he had a pretty good quote. I know what I can do.
Can I take a quick temperature check on both of your houses? Seahawks lose, Patriots lose. Both
Seahawks
did
and
not-
ASU lose this weekend.
Yeah,
Devastating.
yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
even eat dinner that I made him on Sunday night. He couldn't
Hunger
eat.
strike? Hunger
Oh, he was
strike?
yeah. He was very
Okay.
upset.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
do we have a Chris temp check?
He came out like, oh yeah, here we go. Yes,
Strike
we're
me.
winning. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him like picking out
Future.
his shirt for the day.
Yep. Now, and then he was like, we're terrible. And then proceeded to drink beers in front of a bouncy house at our neighbor's house, because I was over there after.
See house too.
Yes. We started over there 2 doors down, our neighbor's birthday party, kids. And so at like halftime of the Falcons game, I take Cage over there so that, and I'm just watching the game on my phone. And then some of the other dads come out and moms, and like I just set up chairs and we're all just kind of watching football on our phone while our kids are, headbutting each other in a bouncy house. And then at some point, Chris and I switch, and then, I see him just drinking beers out there. And then by the end of the second afternoon games, everyone was over at our house swimming and drinking.
Oh my God,
So
that
we
sounds
were
so much
like
fun.
from 11 to 7:30, like just
Wow.
neighborhood
Yeah.
block partying.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's like drowning our sorrows in Coors Lights and frozen
'cause
margaritas.
the Falcons lost.
little
Yeah,
frozen
the
And you know
Falcons
what?
had a tough day.
Justice for my King Koo. King Koo will rise again.
Oh, that was a
think
fun
Koo's-
game too.
It was
I think
fun.
Koo's getting cut.
No, you think he's getting cut?
Yeah, this happened like 2 or 3 times at the end of last season, and now it's happening again. So I don't see it. I don't see good things. I know.
It was so
And
funny.
I love him.
I love him too. On the broadcast, there were, 2 guys in the booth. One's calling him Young Hui, and one is calling him Young Ho. And I'm like, were you guys in different prep meetings? Like, we got to get aligned on the pronunciation here.
He did also do a jersey swap with the Braves' new shortstop Hassan Kim, who we got from the
Cute.
Rays. So like they did a little jersey swap. So that was super cute. But yeah, I mean, obviously the Falcons and the Bucks. Like last year, we beat the Bucks both times. Like this, I think. At least one of those times it went into overtimes. It's always been a 3-point game. We always play each other close. Our defense came out strong. They tired out
looked
because
real
obviously
good.
conditioning. So I think if our defense is that good, we're going to be awesome. Penix has a lot of catching up to do with the speed of the game because, we started at Bijan is like the only person like really firing on all cylinders. I will say Kyle Pitts was finally using his body and his weight to win over. So he did a lot better this game. So there's lots of positives to be gained from this. I don't take this as like a total loss because we always play the Bucks super tight. It just sucks because that's like a division loss for us when it comes to the playoffs. Yeah.
Very, very bad week for Koreans in the state of Georgia.
Yes.
Oh,
Very bad.
no.
And we are on the Koreans' side. Thank you very much.
Let's end this on a good note. Who has got a sports pitch? think
I
you
just
guys
have
both
one
sports
tiny.
pitches.
I have one tiny nominee, Amanda Anisimova, an American. She is who lost the Wimbledon final 0-0. And if you were in the Wimbledon final, you should not lose 0-0. That's a total mental thing. It was heartbreaking to watch. It was actually like really embarrassing, tough. She cried. Less than 2 months later, she comes back, beats the woman that she lost 0-0 to in Wimbledon at the U.S. Open, beats her 6-3, 6-4. It is being called the fastest, most drastic, like turnaround to ever happen in sports, and it's 100% mental. And I am so proud of her. There was an American woman in all 4 major tennis championships this year. So go girls.
I want to get you. You really have like sort of got me in this way that I'm interested in tennis. So congratulations. I want to start
Thank
watching.
you.
My sports pitch of the week is a student at the University of Missouri at Mizzou. So Mizzou is playing KU, big rivals. This last weekend. This student comes down to kick a field goal to win $25,000 at halftime. Instead, he lifts up his shirt and it says FKU. Then he hauls around, kicks the ball at the KU sideline and is like, yeah. And he's an amputee. He only had one leg.
You are lying.
Swear to God, yeah.
Oh my
So he kicked it.
gosh.
He didn't kick it with his
His prosthetic?
Prosthetic.
his blade or whatever. But like he kicked, but it was still.
So they
I
can't
was
even
like,
be mad
legend.
at him.
God,
Legend.
that
Yeah.
is legendary. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
You gotta
Signed,
see
sealed,
that
delivered.
video.
He's our sports pitch of the week. That's incredible. Guys, that is our episode for week 1. I am so happy to have football back. In fact, the days that aren't football days suck
Stinky.
now.
Yeah.
Stinky.
We love you
Boo.
guys. Subscribe. Leave us some good reviews. Comment. Maybe let us know if you spit or swallow or don't.
Send us
We gotta
stuff in the
go.
Discord. Yeah. Okay.
We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, bitches.